To solve this question, we can use the fundamental counting principle. Now we know that the first number in our 4-digit number cannot be a 0. So let's look at the 3 other options for our first digit. The first option is if the first digit of our number is a 1. Well, if the first digit of our number is a 1, then there's only one option or one possibility for the first digit. It's 1. That's the option we're looking at. For the second digit, we can use any remaining number that hasn't been chosen. So we could use a 0, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5. That gives us 5 different options for the second digit. For the third digit, we can use any of the numbers that haven't already been used. Remember that we are not allowed to repeat. So we could use any number except for 1 or whatever the second digit is. That leaves us with 4 options. For our final digit, again, we can use any number that hasn't already been chosen, and we've used 3 of the 6 total numbers. So that means that we have 3 other options for our final digit. Multiplying these through, we find that there are 60 different options if the first digit is a 1. Let's look at the first digit being 2. We know that there's only one option for the first digit if it's 2, and that number is 2. For the second digit, we can choose any number that's remaining, and there are 5 options left. For our third digit, we can again choose any number that's remaining. We've used 2 of the total 6 numbers, so now there are 4 numbers or 4 options left. And finally, we know that there are now only 3 numbers that we can choose for our fourth digit. Multiplying these together, we find that there are 60 options for our first digit being 2. Let's look at our final case here. The first digit of our number must be a 3 in this case, so there's one option for that. For our second digit, it can't be a 3, but it also cannot be a 5. And the reason it cannot be a 5 is because the 4-digit number we choose must be smaller than 3,500. In other words, we can't have our second digit be a 5 if our first digit is a 3, because then we are not going to be smaller than this number, but rather equal to it. So we can't choose the number 3 for our second digit, and we also cannot choose the number 5 for our second digit. That leaves us with only 4 options for our second digit. For our third digit, there are no restrictions here, so we can use any number that hasn't already been chosen. We've picked 2 numbers of the 6, which means we have 4 options left. And for our final digit, we can again choose any number that hasn't already been chosen. That leaves us with 3 options. Multiplying these through, we find that there are 48 options if our first digit is a 3. Now, how many 4-digit numbers are smaller than 3,500? All we need to do is add up our numbers here. 60 plus 60 plus 48. And if we do that, we find that there are 168 different options for our 4-digit number.